Let's talk about Amir Khan. His first fight in the UK for 2 years is live on 5 Live next Saturday night. That's April the 27th. He's taking on Julio Diaz in Sheffield, and he's told Mike that he's making great strides under new trainer Virgil Hunter.
With Virgil, he teaches me to understand boxing more instead of, fighting with the heart. Plus, we're doing a lot of sparring in training camp when I'm with Virgil, because the sparring is the closest to a fight. And he wants me to understand what it's like to be in the ring all the time. And once I get that understanding in the boxing ring, I'll be fine in a fight. It's all mental work that we've been doing. Physically, I'm in great condition all the time. I'm physically strong, quick. But mentally, he's got me prepared better, and he's also getting me stronger as a fighter.
What do you say to those people, Amir, who, after you were knocked out by Danny Garcia, which was your second defeat in a row following the setback against Lamont Peterson, they said that you've been a pro since 2005, you've had a lot of hard nights, and maybe, even though you're only 26, you're on the slide? No,
definitely not. We just probably went into fights with the wrong mentality and also with the wrong game plan. And we were being too brave for my own good, really. We fought the best out there. We've not said no to any other opponent. I could have a 100% record. I wanted a challenge, fighting good names, big names, going to America. I got beat by top-class fighters. Plus, I'm not one to shy away and fight them again. I've offered both fighters a rematch, and I'm pushing for that rematch now. So people can say all they want. I've still got the best years of me, and I can feel an improvement already in my style as a fighter. And working with Virgil Hunter, he's bringing the best out of me, and give it a couple of more years, I'll be a complete fighter. Like I said, I'm 26, and now as I'm getting older, I'm understanding how to fight these tough fights and how to be more smarter in there when I'm taking less punishment and stuff.
And next up in Sheffield, it's Julio Diaz. What's the thinking behind choosing him as the opponent, Amir? What will that give you in terms of your necessary development?
Yeah, with opponents first, it was very difficult to make a fight. Everyone we put the fight to said no. We wanted to face the winner of the Ricky Hatton and Shevchenko fight, and he refused to fight me. Everyone just kept saying no. Even Garcia said no to the rematch because he's fighting Zab Judah on the same night. Even Peterson was another guy who we wanted to face. He said no. So we done the list, and the few names, we looked at Julio Diaz, who had a good performance in his last fight, who fought on the undercard of my last fight. He fought against Sean Porter, who I believe is a good fighter. I've trained with Sean Porter before in the amateurs. I've seen how good he is. I think he's a class act, and I really think Julio Diaz won that fight. So in a way, it makes me, know that I'm facing a guy who's regrouped himself, made himself a better fighter. Plus, he's very experienced, and he's dangerous. He has nothing to lose. He's changed everything in his life with training differently and preparing differently for a fight, so he's going to be more than ready in this fight.
And beyond that, Amir, you've mentioned the rematches against Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia. Aside from those, what would be your dream fights long term?
Dream fight, like everyone, you want to fight for the pound-for-pound title. My eye is still on fighting someone like Floyd Mayweather in the future, and it's all about working hard, training hard, and getting past these tough fights I need to get past. I was reading what Richie Schaefer said. He's doing a mini tournament, which is going to be between Garcia and Zab Judah. The winner of that fight faces the winner of Lamont Peterson and Matisse. So that is like a semi-final, and the winner of that little tournament fights me in the final in a way. And that'll put me straight into a super fight straight after that, having all the titles on the line and then becoming world champion again. So, we know what mistakes we made in the past, and we don't want to make them mistakes again.
Well, that was Amir Khan talking to our boxing commentator Mike Costello. And Mike, this is his latest step on the road to rebuilding his career.
Yes, it is, and it's been a very hard career. He's been a professional for nearly 8 years now. It's easy to forget that because we always think of him as the teenager from the Olympic Games in 2004, but he's had some hard fights, some hard rounds, and often, it's better to judge a boxer by the number of hard rounds rather than the actual age on the calendar. And he has had some tough fights, including his two most recent defeats against Danny Garcia and against Lamont Peterson. But this is an exciting mini tournament that's being staged by Golden Boy. If Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson should win their fights, then he's got a chance of revenge against at least one of those. They'll meet in a showdown later this year. The plan is for Khan to face the overall winner, as he was explaining there. And if he should win, you know, the whole of that mini tournament, then there is every chance that he could then be facing Floyd Mayweather at some stage, maybe in 2014. And even if he stumbles along the way, then there's the possibility of a domestic showdown against Kell Brook, whose, you know, world title aspirations at best are on hold at the moment. And Khan does have a lot of options. He's hovering between the light welterweight and welterweight divisions. Light welterweight at 10 stone, welterweight 10 stone 7. This fight that he's got next week in Sheffield against Julio Diaz has been made at 10 stone 3. So he's clearly looking to a future maybe in the heavier division without leaving the light welterweight options behind.
And do you think, Steve, that he's going to carry on basing himself in the US?
I think he will carry on basing himself in the US. He's done himself he's had some fantastic fights there. The crowd love him for sometimes the right reasons, and sometimes the wrong reasons. So I think he will carry on basing himself there and maybe have a fight over here every 3 or 4 years. And just to pick up what Mike said there, I know we're running out of time. He's not only had 30 pro fights, he had about 40 top amateur fights. He's had 11 years at the top. His body is tired.
Well, ahead of Amir Khan's fight in Sheffield, which is next Saturday, we'll have commentary on Anthony Ogogo's professional debut on 5 Live Sports Extra. And Mike, is he the barometer for the other British boxing medalists, the 2012 vintage?
Well, what's interesting is that he is the first of the medalists from London 2012 to turn pro. He's 24 and he signed with Golden Boy in the United States like Amir Khan. So it is going to be fascinating to chart his development. But he only has to look at Khan and some of the problems he's had despite a brilliant start to his career. And of course, another man on the same bill, Audley Harrison, and how he failed to make the transition from the amateurs to the professional ranks. And I happen to think that Ogogo's style will make it very difficult for him to make that transition as well. It's going to take a lot of dedication and a lot of commitment and a lot of listening as well.
Final word from you, Steve, on Audley Harrison. How many times have we said, is this the last chance for Audley Harrison?
No, how many times have you and Mike said, I've never said it. Let's get that right straight away. Audley Harrison is going in with a man who's about 15 years younger. He's unbeaten in 27 fights, all 27 are knockouts. And wait for it, the guy's even taller than Audley. And why is Audley doing it? Because pound for pound, he's the most entertaining heavyweight we've ever had. That's why he's doing it.
And he's got that gold medal and nobody will ever take that away from him. Steve Bunce, Mike Costello, thank you very much indeed.